Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Amateur Andy and here we are not playing anything today. Nope, we're doing City Skylines the recovery way today because I made a boo-boo.
I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
I knew I should have paid attention to that error message that came up on the main menu screen when I started up the game. But I didn't. Now we have an error message for every single missing asset and mod. That's a lot. So let's review what happened today and see if we can fix it. And hopefully we'll learn something along the way. Okay, so I think I know what happened. Actually, I'm 100% sure I know what happened as I felt my heart sink when it happened. So one day I was perusing the workshop as I regularly do, looking for some props. Sure, I came across this little parking gate set that I wanted to try out. Probably got distracted. Ooh, common city asset props. This looks like cool. 614 items. Let's check it out. Scroll through the lists. Vaguely, like usual. Looks good to me. Uh-oh. This is what I clicked. Yep. Overwrite my subscriptions. So you can only imagine what happened. So instead of hitting add only, I clicked on overwrite my subscriptions. And add only just adds everything in that collection to the workshop, what I've selected. And since I've selected subscribe to all, but I hit override my subscriptions and that deletes, unsubscribes all of my current assets and mods. So I feel like this is kind of unfair. I don't know. This sucks. I feel like there should be an "Are you sure?" button, but there isn't. So nevertheless, we're going to have to suck this one up and see if we can fix it. So what's the first thing we do when we run into problems nowadays? We go to Google and we ask it, what do I do in this situation when I accidentally unsubscribe from all of my assets in City Skylines? And gee, golly gosh, yeah, wow, okay. We are definitely not the first ones to have this problem, are we? So hopefully we'll find some good information in here. And it looks like this reply at the top has some good information, so let's give that one a try. So the information or the advice is to, in your main menu, go to Content Manager, and under Category, select Save Games. Scroll down to your latest save, the save in question, and you can see that listed here, we have the amount of custom assets and mods that this particular save is looking for. So in this case, 8,464. And I'm to understand if we hit subscribe all, we can try to resubscribe to all the missing ones that the game is looking for. So that's what I did. And I waited and continued to wait and waited some more and waited some more.
3:28 a.m.
Now, I know, given the amount of mods and assets that I have, that this was going to take a while. And I knew that resubscribing to everything too. But even after leaving the computer overnight to try and resubscribe to all the assets, nothing had changed. So I thought, let's try enabling them all and see what happens. I mean, it's not like it could get any worse, so what the hey?
Approximately 10 hours later.
Okay, so this doesn't seem to be working either, so I guess let's go back to the drawing board, try something else, see what Google has to say this time. Okay, and Reddit to the rescue again, so let's see what this thread has to say. Okay, Skyve. I have the Skyve mod, so... Okay, got it. Okay, can do. Let's give it a try. So if you don't already have the Skyve mod, I highly recommend you subscribe to it. Open it up from your desktop shortcut and it will look like this. So you just select utilities. Then when you get to this screen, you can see the loading screen mod report. So it's very important that you're subscribed to the loading screen mod. And it will pull this report every time you load the game. So if you select here where it says view and subscribe to missing assets, then you'll get prompted with this screen right here. So the first thing I like to do is change the order to the date that it was modified so I can get the most recent load, and then I'll assemble it by line instead of by pictogram, so it's easier for me to interpret. Now we can see here that the last time the game was loaded on October 20th, 3:54 p.m., we had 1.1 megabytes worth of mods and assets. And if we scroll down to the last good save where everything was there on October 15th, we can see that I had over 2 megabytes of assets and mods. So yeah, we're missing a lot of things here. So we're going to try and get that back now. And how we're going to accomplish that is we're going to find the save where it has basically the most missing assets, so that we can compile a list of all the ones that the game is looking to load but can't find. So we hit select, and then we come to this screen right here. And this is the list of missing assets and mods that the game is looking to load but can't find. So it shows us that it's a mod or a prop or whatever, and it also gives us a link to the Steam Workshop. So what we need to do is resubscribe to all of these in order for the game to load. Now, there is a lot. You can see that it says there's about a little over 500, and that's a lot of assets and mods to click. There is a subscribe to all button at the top. But I think we all know that's not always the most tried, tested, and true way, and that it is a more guaranteed way if we individually select each one. And I think that's what we're going to have to do. So let's get that done. And then when we're done with this, we will try to reload the game and see if we can get it to load and how much more is missing. And then we'll take it from there. And that is unfortunate. Simulation failed again. Object reference not set to an instance, but we have significantly more assets. We have a little over 1,400 this time compared to last time, but we still have the same error message. So we need to look up this error message and the simulation failed and figure out what those mean. So let's see. Cities, Skylines, system dot look at that right there. Steam community. Perfect. What does it mean? Is it as I suspected? Is it because each time that error message comes up, there's a missing asset or mod? The Rico assets need a Rico mod. So, okay, so it sounds like we're missing a mod somewhere. So let's start there. But first, the second error message was cities, Skylines, object reference, and then it wasn't clear what the rest of the message was. It was cut off. So let's just select the first one that looks close. And back to the Steam community. Okay, looks something similar to what we're getting. And here we are again. Yeah, so it looks like we're missing a mod. Missing a mod somewhere. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's probably best if we go and try and get as many mods resubscribed to as possible and see if that gets rid of that error message. So no error message at the main menu. So let's try and load a save and see what happens. Nothing. Nothing happened. Well, anyways, it loaded, but not that well. So here we are back in Skyve, and we can see we have a little compatibility report for our mods. And if we just go to the unsubscribe tab, as it so kindly categorizes things into neat little tabs for you, the unsubscribe tab is the most the critical tab. So these are conflicting mods that need to be addressed immediately. So we can see it shows us here what the conflicting mods are and what the suggested action is that you should take. You could even unsubscribe from the mod that it recommends to unsubscribe from straight here in the Skyve mod as well, or you could do it in the Steam Workshop. So once we have this all sorted out, let us run another loading screen mod deficiency report and see if there's been any change since the last one, and hopefully try to resubscribe to some more assets now that we have some mods in place that can accommodate those assets. And it looks like we're looking for more assets this time, which is great. And some of them are there, subscribed. The game is happy. That's good. Looks like there may be some warnings here that we may need to look into. Those ones might be missing or not working or something. And yeah, here we go. Okay, so these ones are the ones we're missing that it's trying to load. So we're going to make sure that we do not subscribe to these broken ones or ones that have a warning. And if we are subscribed, we'll make sure we unsubscribe from them as well. And then we'll try to load the last save again and see how far we get this time. And when that doesn't work, we'll run another report in Skyve, try to subscribe to everything again, and rinse, lather, and repeat. And of course, third time's a charm. That's the golden rule, right? So if this doesn't work, nothing's going to work. So let's see what happens and cross our fingers. But I'm not going to hold my breath because as I go through this list, I'm consistently seeing the same assets and props, especially over and over again. And they're clearly not loading for whatever reason that I can't figure out. I'm sure it's beyond me. So I'm not going to hold my breath. No high hopes. That's delicious. Well, pardon me. We did it. We actually did it.
We did it!
Look. Just look at her. There she is. We're missing a few things, that's for sure. The Golden Tower is missing. The RBC head office is missing. How did our Tesla plant make out? Rather unscathed by the looks of it. Missing a few props, nothing we can't fix. I think the dynamic resolution mod may not be installed right now. These graphics are looking absolutely horrendous right now. So we're going to have to look into that. Our level of detail needs to be looked at. No problem. Golf course is in relatively good condition. How is our patio area? No pergolas, no hot tubs, but they're still divided, so you have the privacy of doing nothing. Farmers' fields look good. And how did our tractor dealership make out? Okay, well, now it's just a storage lot, I guess. Well, all in all, rather unscathed. This is a valuable, valuable lesson. And by rather unscathed, I mean 90% of the city is still here and still standing. And for a complete amateur who barely understands how to play the game, I'd like to give myself a pat on the back that I got this far.
0 pats on the back.
So there's a lot of work to do here. There's a lot of recovery to do here. It's going to take us a lot of time as we're playing the game to see what assets are missing and where, and then have to, keep resubscribing to them and replacing them and stuff. So this is the kind of time where you have to determine if it's worth it, whether or not to continue. I'd love nothing more than to continue because this is how far we've gotten, but at the same time, I don't know, is it time to take the lessons we've learned and start a new city? Maybe. We have to consider one of the biggest contenders. If we push play, we don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be assets missing. There could be a police station missing, a fire station missing, a hydro power plant missing. It could be anything, and all the infrastructure in the city could be completely broken, and that will take a long, long time and a substantial cost to recover that too. So maybe we'll start with that. Let's press play and see what happens. Yep. Saw this coming, didn't we? Mind you, we already had a death wave, so there's that. But we definitely have infrastructure issues. Wow, gee golly gosh, we got power and sewage issues. So we are, I bet you our Tesla a gigafactory or mega plant or whatever it's called is missing. And we might be missing some sewage treatment facilities. I'm not really sure which ones I would have downloaded off the Steam Workshop that are not part of the game. So, yeah. Poop. I like this view better anyways. But I think the view that we'll like the most is when we start a new city in the next episode. Just think that it's probably best if we take the lessons that we've learned and apply them strategically to a new city and, try to do things right from the beginning. So we'll build slowly, detail, one section at a time so that, nothing's left out, that kind of stuff. Rennburg's been good to us. It already has enough problems, and, adding these problems on top of it isn't going to help the situation. So what can we learn from this? The best advice I can give, I guess, is to use the favorite tab if you come across something that you are going to use frequently, or use the add to collection tab, which I personally am going to start using a little bit more. It's a little bit more detailed and organized. So you can, as you can see, I don't have any current collections, so I can create a new collection and I can call it whatever I want. For example, a backup of current assets that are running in this build, whatever, and insert build name here. Or in this case, because this is an American signed prop pack, I can save it as American assets to be generalized. And when I go searching for other American assets, props, whatever, I can put it all together in the same collection so that when I'm doing an American build, I just have to subscribe to my American assets using that collection. It makes it a little bit more organized and easier to use. And in the case where we lost our build here, we don't have to manually search through and try to remember, the assets, props, mods, etc. that we were using to resubscribe to them to try to recomplete the build or rebuild the build. This is a lot easier. We can just go in, resubscribe to everything that's already in the collection. It's already there. We don't miss anything. It's a super easy recovery. And you can also put a branding image if you want, if you're a regular contributor to the Steam Workshop. Makes it super helpful if you want, kind of making a little page for yourself. And then you can put a little description for your collection as well. So in this case, it's easy. It's American sign props. If you were, a little bit more, like I said, into adding stuff to the Steam Workshop on a regular basis, you could add a more detailed description here with some more in-depth information. And then when you scroll all the way down, you can decide what kind of collection it is, and you can tick off all the boxes where you think that this particular asset belongs to help narrow down the search, and then you just save. And that's it. Bob's your uncle. Highly, highly recommend to get yourself a favorites list and start organizing your assets accordingly. It will really, really help you in the long run. So heed my advice. Please don't end up like I did. But if you learned anything, then hey, that's what I'm here for. But until the next episode, thanks so much for joining me. Can't wait to see you in the next series. Bye for now.